Grand Risings. Woo-hoo. How you feeling? How you doing? Well, I've had an amazing morning so far. Yeah, I've been apple falling. I came out to do my meditation. I got blackberries. Got some blackberries, and I went and picked the apples off the ground. These are the apples that have fallen over the last sort of day or so, I think. Maybe 2 days. Some of them are a little bit rotten. And they've gone on the compost pile for the mouse. The mice. And yeah, I have damsons today as well. I have damsons. Yeah, I have damsons. I don't know really what to do with these today. I'm not sure what to do with them. I always like this stuff that comes with like little, I don't know if you can see it, it's like crystal-y type stuff. I'm not quite sure what that is actually. I mean, I could probably do with researching it, but yeah, look. I'm assuming like maybe it's just sugar that's come out of. Can you see? I'm just holding stuff up, like, like sugar that comes out of the damsons. Maybe it's pretty cool. It's like really hard. Yeah, it's very hard. So I might make a crumble, I think, with the damsons. The apple cake was amazing. The apple cake was amazing. Yeah, I might make another apple cake. That's my favourite. I'd prefer apple cake to apple crumble, I think. And the blackberries are just going to get eaten like that. Speaking of which, I was walking along the road the other day. I was picking blackberries and eating them as I was walking. And I came upon a family standing at the bus stop. And the kids were all, well, they were doing what I was doing. They were picking the blackberries and eating them. And I could hear them as I was approaching. And they're like, oh, there's some over here. There's some over here. And so I was like picking as well. And I was like, oh, nice. You're picking the blackberries? And the mum was like stood at the bus stop. And she was like, oh, I've told them to leave them, but they won't listen to me. And I'm like, why should they leave them? Like, I don't get it. Like, they're supposed to be like picking blackberries. And I was like, here, look, there's some really good ones up here. And they were like, thank you. And the mum had like such a perplexed look on her face. As to like why a grown adult would be picking blackberries and eating them. Don't get it. I don't know if she was like maybe embarrassed that her children were picking blackberries. Or she was a bit squeamish. I don't know. Is there anybody, that may be watching this that could enlighten me as to why a parent wouldn't let their child, or wouldn't want their child to pick blackberries? I don't know. I mean, what I picked this morning, there's loads left. Like, it's just because my bowl got full. You're probably looking at a good £5. £5. Oh, £5 worth of free blackberries. And that's just that. We won't pick them. There is a danger of what happened with us, where you pick so many that your kids kind of get sick of them. Yeah. Some of my kids still like blackberries. Some of them are just like, no, I could never eat another blackberry ever again. Which is fair enough. Well, there's a few things I wanted to talk to you about actually today. Some plans that I have for some videos that you might want to check out that are coming up. And this guy here. So I wanted to show you what happened. So years and years ago, this boot, well, this boot was okay, but the other boot, there was an issue with the other boot, and I think all of my kids grew out of them, and the other boot was broken, and I didn't really want to just chuck it away, because I couldn't give them away because there wasn't really a pair. So I reutilized it as a plant pot, like years and years ago, as you can tell because of all the moss. that's on it. Yeah, it's pretty cool. And I originally, if you can see, all the little all these bits, it was actually originally what I had in there was nasturtiums. I put nasturtiums in here, and it was quite cool. It was all growing out, and all the nasturtium. But then eventually, where I was living at the time, there was a big ash tree in my neighbour's garden. Oh, tiny snails. And it must have done the thing, and an ash tree started growing, and I was like, oh, that's quite cute. But it's booted out, booted out the nasturtiums. And this is how it's been. So I've kind of I have about four, apparently this is called tree fostering, which is quite a cute term, I think. Yeah, tree fostering. So eventually, I think in the autumn this year, this one is probably ready to go and be planted somewhere. I have two others, I think, that are ready to be planted as well. So that's 3 ash trees that I have that I've been fostering for about 5 years now, 4 or 5 years. I think this one's a bit the youngest one. There's one that's older and bigger, and one that's older but the same size. It's in a smaller thing. Yeah, and so there you go. I use this as a plant pot. It's pretty cool, and it's done a good enough job that it's got this guy growing in it. So yeah, that's going to be fun. I'm going to be taking that somewhere in the autumn to plant, because ash trees, they can get up to about 50 foot tall, and they can live for 200 years, sometimes 300 if they're in the right space, and happy if they're happy. So yeah, I've already planted in the spring. It was in the spring, sort of at the end of spring, really. I planted a few fostered trees. There was a couple of ashes and a little mini oak that had they were ready to be planted out. The oak was very cute. It was small, looked like a bonsai oak. But yeah, it was definitely ready to be transplanted. Yeah, so that's what I've been doing, fostering trees and waiting for I think this guy is definitely gonna. It's been a nice little addition actually to the garden. And I don't know what I'm gonna put in the boot when it's done. Really. And it's quite a cool plant pot though. I like how all the moss is sort of taken over. Especially on the inside. It's pretty cute. Yeah. What else is there that I've been thinking about? Oh yeah, I've got nettles to do today. Nettle seeds. I've got more nettle seeds to do today. I've had to start cutting back the nettles. They're really intruding on the garden now. Yeah, I have to do that today. So there'll be a video about the sifting through of the nettle seeds, what I've done, what I do now when they've been dried. That's coming up soon. And the oregano. That's going to get done today. And I should be making some balms. I have some balms to make. I've run out. So I need a new supply of balms. So I thought I might make a video about how to make balms. So that would be cool. Although it's a bit difficult sometimes because I don't really do it to a recipe. I just chuck shit in. And a lot of people like a recipe. They like to know the exact amounts of things. And I'm not really good with the exact amounts of things. I just kind of chuck things in when I do stuff. Yeah. And I think on Tuesday coming up, Tuesday, Tears Day, I'm going to be doing a live dawning meditation. So when I get up in the dawning, I come and sit out, and I just sit, and I observe, and I listen, and I sit and I be with with the birds, and the different sounds, I suppose, rustlings, life, wind, breath, the clouds. And yeah, I thought it would be nice to share. I thought it'd be nice to share that time together. If anybody's, feeling up for it, it'll probably be sort of between 6:30, 7:30 in the dawning. British. I want to say summertime. Do British people ever know what kind of fucking time frame it is? I think that's right. Yeah, British summertime. BST. 6:30, between 6:30 and 7:30 a.m. Obviously. I was going to do a live. I'm not going to be chatting much. Just be literally sitting with me. Birdie. It's a blackbird. Cute. You're rather aggressive, to be fair, with the... I'm trying to figure out, it's got something in its beak. Very aggressive with the ivy. So yeah, it'll kind of just be this, me sitting. You can listen with me to the sounds of the garden. And just be together. Thought that would be nice. Sometimes it's nice to just be with somebody in the dawning when you get up, before you've got to start your dailies. And yeah, there's some interesting videos coming up. Oregano smudge sticks, I think. Nettle sifting, how to sift through your dried nettle seeds and contain them, store them. It's just peeping at me through the ivy. I don't know if you can hear it. It's being really aggressive. Yeah, it's been some weird times lately. Very weird times. What with all the... I don't tend to pay much attention, if I'm honest with you, to the mainstream media and the news. I don't have a TV. I have like purposeful viewing. I watch documentaries online or the odd film with the kids. I don't buy newspapers. I don't listen to the radio. I don't have social media other than YouTube. And I don't buy newspapers. Did I say that one already? Anyway, all the things that would possibly tell me what's going on in the world, I don't engage with, because the amount of, over the years, I've noticed that, there's a big story in a newspaper. Everyone will get really panicked about it, really scared. Everybody will be talking about it. And then 3 weeks later, the story's gone. Never had any effect on us as an individual. It was just something that we were all talking about. And then 3 weeks later, it's gone. Doesn't exist anymore. The fear mongering was unnecessary. And people are talking about something else now. So I just stopped. I stopped engaging with it, if I'm honest. And I found that I was a lot happier. I found that I was a lot more peaceful. Even though I had no idea what was kind of going on. It didn't seem to make much difference to my life. And to what I was doing, really. But obviously, there's been, a lot of things going on nationally, what with the riots and violence. And I live in like a predominantly kind of Middle Eastern community. And I have noticed there's been like a lot of people that are being quite defensive And quite rightly so. Um, I suppose. Um, but it's made us have some, it's helped to strike up some interesting conversations in the house about people's beliefs and where they come from and why people act in the way that they act. And my kids still can't believe that this day and age there are still people out there that have hatred towards another being literally because of the colour of the skin, literally because of the way that they were born, just because they have a different belief system. Like, why? Like, why would you go out and be so violent and hateful towards people? They genuinely can't understand it. Genuinely, they have no comprehension as to why someone would be that way towards somebody that they don't know. And I'm sick of hearing this fucking phrase, English Defence League. They're not defending anybody, they're actually attacking England. It should be called the English Attack League. Because I've never heard my children say that they're scared of immigrants or refugees, and that they have a fear of being attacked by them. But they have said that they're quite fearful, especially like, working in the city, when they were going through the city. They have said they were quite fearful of themselves being hurt by the far right, by the English Defence League, English Attack League. We really should rename them. I don't think they should get to name themselves. I don't think people that go around doing these kinds of things get to name themselves. I think they should be named. And if anything, it's a good thing. If anything, I like to take the positives from everything. And rather than like be all in the negative and like, oh, this is terrible, this is awful, this is so bad, they shouldn't be doing this. Actually, if anything, they're just exposing themselves. They're literally going out, exposing themselves. They'll never be able to walk through the streets again without always being labelled as a racist. And totally shot themselves in the foot. And, normally people with racist beliefs tend to keep them under wraps because they know deep down, inherently, their beliefs are wrong. Like, you can't just hate someone because of the way that they were born. And they can justify their beliefs as much as they want, which most people tend to do because they don't like being wrong and they don't like admitting that the reason why they're so hate-filled is because they're scared and they're insecure. It's not nice to say that. It puts you in a vulnerable position. And most people aren't strong enough to be in a vulnerable position. You have to be very strong in your beliefs. You have to be very strong in your identity and in who you are. And just in life, you have to be very trusting in life, I think, to admit that you're wrong. And to admit that the way that you're acting is probably not quite right. And I would definitely say that somebody with racist beliefs is probably not strong enough to admit that their actions are wrong. But deep down they know that the way that they're acting and the things that they're saying are not going to be met with open arms by the majority of people. Don't let the media fool you. The majority of people are not racist twats. The majority of people are not hate-filled. They might get swept away with a hate-filled crowd, but they're not hate-filled. They're really not. Most people want to love. They want to be loved. They want to feel united, and they want to feel safe, and they want to feel happy and joyful. They don't want to be hate-filled. They don't want to be violent. The majority of people. I'm not saying all. There's always an exception. Always. But I've taken the good out of this is that they're all exposing themselves. So all these people that have kept their racist views under wraps and have been too ashamed and too fearful and cowardly when they're on their own to go, yeah, I'm a racist prick. They've all got swept up in this, like, yeah, we're in a crowd now, we're in a mob, we're safe. We're all being exposed. There's a lot of exposing going on at the moment. It's a year of exposing, I think. Exposing shit, exposing nasty beliefs, exposing narcissistic behaviours. Yeah. It's been quite nice to watch. From the sidelines. Oh, look, you're all over the paper as a racist prick. Oh dear. You have two choices from there, don't you? Really. You either continue to be a racist prick and stand firm in your country's behaviour, therefore allowing everybody around you to go, yeah, I don't want to hang around with you. You're a racist cunt. Or you have to accept that maybe the way that you're living and believe and thinking and the things that you believe really need to change. What? Where does that viewpoint come from? Literally. It baffles me. It still baffles me. It baffles me that we live in a world where people are still having to escape from war, from, threats of death because of their beliefs and because of the way that they feel and because of things that they can't help, like their skin color, their their cultural beliefs, their sexuality and gender. I mean, it baffles me that we still live in a world that has issues with those things. Let alone that other people that sit in a very privileged space. Let's be honest here. I know that Britain, England, UK, whatever wording there is, so many words. We live in quite a privileged space. I know it's not perfect. But considering what it could be, we have quite a privileged space that we live in. And to come from this space and to demonize somebody that's gone through a lot to escape violence and terror and death, and how can you not sit and empathize with that and go, wow, it must have been really bad. Yeah, you need safe space, of course. Come here, let's give you sanctuary. We need to start helping each other, loving each other, having compassion. This fucking borders shit needs to just stop. I stand with earthlings, man. Earthlings. Earth. I stand with Earth. Yay. And there was my little spiel about politics. That's about as much politics as you'll get from me. Gaia doesn't have politics. No. But it's been nice watching people unite against it. It's been nice watching people be peaceful against it and take the high road. It's been a beautiful thing actually to witness people uniting over a common cause. We need to do it more often. Maybe that's another good thing that's come from it, Sometimes bad things happen so good people can unite and share, share love and positivity, and gives us something to gather together for. But I'm pretty sure it'll all die down again, as most things do. What it's called. The good news is nothing lasts forever. The bad news is nothing lasts forever. Unfortunately. Or fortunately, depending on which way you're looking at it. But, would a good thing be as good if it was forever? It would not. It would not. I don't think so. You have to have the good and the bad so that you can see the extremes. How do you know how good something is unless it's... Oh, there's a poor cat. I'm trying to cough up a fur ball. Can you hear it? Poor guy. Yeah, you need sometimes the bad so that you can have that to be the opposite. So well, if that's how bad that is, that must be the good bit, right? I'm sure there's a more eloquent way of saying that. Hey, Robin. It's at the Damsons. So, that's about all I have today. Feeling very peaceful. very positive, even though there's been lots of bad things happening. It's all part of life. It's all a part of the journey. My blackberries are nearly gone. I'm very messy. Mm. Apple drop. Yeah, so look out for my next few videos. Nettle seed sifting, oregano smudge sticks. I've got some more tracks coming as well that I need to sort through, which I'm quite happy about. It's been quite nice doing some different things. I've been going to a roller disco. That's been quite fun. Roller disco with the kids. I didn't realise how fun roller skating was as an adult. I used to roller skate when I was a kid. I was like mega into it. I got proper hyper focused. I got like, I changed the wheels and I had like different kind of backstops and fucking skatey, socky things. I had so much fun. I don't know why I stopped. I can't even remember why I stopped skating. And I started doing this roller disco thing with the kids. It's been quite fun. I really enjoyed it. It's quite meditative, going round and round in a circle. Well, I hope you have a blessed day. And I hope you manage to find some positivity in the negativity. There is always a good side and there is always a bad side. Always. Try and find the positives. Well, my tea bag, with gratitude comes opportunity. So when you're grateful for the negative bits and you can see the positivity that it brings or the lessons that it brings, then you have more opportunities. You stop shying away from the negative aspects of things and you stop sort of steering yourself away from like difficult experiences, and instead you go, oh right, okay, it might be a bit difficult, but I'm sure there's a lesson in there. I'm sure there's some positivity in there. I'm sure it'll bring something good. It definitely brings more opportunity, I've found. Yeah, and please tell me, why wouldn't parents like their children in blackberries? I'm still quite perplexed about that. Anyway, have a blessed day. Maybe go out and pick some blackberries. They are tasting amazing. Good time for foraging. Very good time. So much free food out there. Like loads. I had to cut down all my nettles, so that's going to be fun. We might have nettle soup for tea. Share with me what you're doing today. And hopefully, I shall see you on Tuesday for the live dawning meditation. That'd be fun. I've got to figure out how to do all the techie shit for that. Doing a live thing's totally different, apparently. Tech. Tech. Ooh. Have a blessed day and a messy day. And I love you very much. And I just want to say thank you to everybody that's been watching, leaving comments, supporting my music, turning up to the open mic nights and sending requests and doing all the things, supporting me in my endeavours. Means a lot, actually. It really does mean a lot. Seeing the subscribing thing going up and having such lovely positive comments, such supportive people and kind words. And there is the occasional person that likes to give a negative comment or an insult. But thank you too for giving me an opportunity to reaffirm my boundaries and to give myself some love and compassion. And for helping me to see how far I've come in my life. There's a time in my life when a negative comment or an insult or a nasty sort of, a nasty insult would have like affected my self-worth actually, and it doesn't now. I used to take on other people's projections and think it was like, must be something about me. If somebody was saying something horrible and nasty about me, it must be true. It must be true. And I must be a bad person and I must need to change. And it's taken a long time for me to get to a point, of like the last few years to where I am like in the last few years where I don't take on those projections anymore. I've gotten to a point where I know myself well enough now where those projections don't affect me. And not even to a point where it's like, that's not true. How fucking dare you speak to me like that? I'm not even to that point now. It's just like, it doesn't even make me angry or defensive anymore, or make me not like the person that is saying those things. It just highlights to me other people's stuff that's about them, not about me. So it's nice. Whenever I get like a negative comment, and then I handle it in a really nice way, or I don't take on that projection, it just shows me how much stronger I am now and how much more confident and secure in myself I am and how well I know myself and love myself. And it's nice. It's a nice feeling. It's a lovely feeling. And it just makes me send out wishes and hopes that other people get to feel like that about themselves. That, you can be your true authentic self and not care what other people think about you or say about you, and know that it's not true, and know that just because someone said something about you, that doesn't make it true. Just because somebody thinks something about you doesn't make it true. Just because, somebody's lashed out at you, it doesn't necessarily mean you've done something wrong. You don't have to change yourself for others. If you want to change, you change for you. If you want to change the way that you're approaching things or the way that you're responding, you change for you. I got sidetracked again. Have a blessed day. Have a great day. Have a great weekend. Weather's going to be nice. Yeah. Share your adventures with me. I'm really interested. I'm interested in the adventures that people have and what they do to make themselves happy. It makes me happy. It makes me happy to hear about other people being happy. I love you.